I barely even recognize Houston anymore, and I'm not exaggerating. Over the last few years, this city has completely transformed. We're talking about new communities popping up everywhere, massive developments breaking ground, and thousands of people moving here every single month. It feels like every time you turn a corner, something new is being built. But here's the thing, not everything that's changing is actually for the better. And some of the biggest downsides of living in Houston, most people don't even realize until after they've already moved here. So in this video, I'm breaking down the real pros and cons of living in Houston, Texas, not the sugar-coated version, not what you see on Google, but what it's actually like living here day to day. The things that I personally love about Houston, the things that frustrate people the most, and the stuff that could actually cost you money if you don't know about it. So whether you're thinking about moving here or you already live here and just want the truth, let's get into it. By the way, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything that there is to know about living in Houston, Texas, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so that you'll be the first one to learn about living here in Houston. My name is Travis, and my team and I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move here to Houston, and we just absolutely love it. So look, whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, send us a text, or shoot us an email, and we'll be happy to help you make that smooth move to Houston. Now let's start with the good, because for all of the negatives people talk about, there's a reason so many people are choosing Houston. And the first one right here, this is one of the biggest reasons people don't leave once they get here. So pro number one, there's a lot to do in Houston. And I don't just mean a couple things on the weekend. I'm talking about a city where you could live here for years and still not experience everything that it has to offer. You've got the entire museum district, which by the way is one of the largest in the country, right next to Herman Park, the Houston Zoo, and miles of trails where people are out walking, running, biking, literally every single day. Then you've got Discovery Green downtown, events, concerts, food trucks, festivals happening all the time. And just minutes away from that, you've got the Toyota Center, Minute Maid Park, and NRG Stadium. So whether it's basketball, baseball, football, concerts, there is always something going on here. And then of course, you've got Space Center Houston, which is something you don't get in most cities. Now let's talk lifestyle, because this is where Houston really separates itself. If you want that urban energy, you've got areas like downtown Houston, Midtown, Montrose, and the Heights. Walkability, nightlife, restaurants, bars, something going on every night of the week. But if you're more family focused, now you've got parks everywhere, kid-friendly attractions, weekend events, master plan communities with amenities built in. And here's what I've noticed working with relocation clients. A lot of people come here for the affordability, but they stay actually because of the lifestyle. But once they get here, you realize real quick, you're not just buying a house in Houston, you're buying access to everything that comes with it. And if you're someone that likes to be out, doing things, exploring, experiencing the city, Houston will keep you busy year round. Now, as good as all of that sounds, this is where things start to shift a little bit, because one of the biggest advantages of Houston is also one of the biggest downsides. And this right here is something that catches almost every relocation buyer off guard. Con number one, Houston is really spread out, and I don't think people fully understand what that means until they actually are here. Because on paper, you'll look at a map and you'll think, okay, that's only 20-25 minutes away. But in reality, the same drive can easily turn into 45 minutes, an hour, and sometimes even more, depending on traffic, time of day, and what part of town you're in. And here's the part that really surprises people. You can have two people, both say they live in Houston, and they might be living 45 minutes to an hour apart from each other. That's how big this city is. Houston covers over 640 square miles. To put that in perspective, you can fit cities like San Francisco, Boston, Washington, D.C., Seattle, and Miami all inside Houston and still have room left over. To put it even crazier, you could fit New York City inside Houston and still have land left over. And because of that, your day-to-day life here is going to be heavily based on where you choose to live, where you work, where your kids go to school, where you go on the weekends. All of that matters way more in Houston than it does in a lot of other cities, because this is not a city where you just casually are bouncing across town all the time. And the numbers back that up. The average commute here is around 27 minutes one way. And that's just the average. I've got clients every single year who move here thinking, we'll just figure it out once we get here. And then a few months later, they realize they built their life around a 55-minute drive. So if you're thinking about moving to Houston, this is one of the biggest decisions that you need to get, right up front. Because in this city, location just doesn't affect your home, it affects your entire lifestyle. Now, as much as that can be a downside, the next one is where Houston really makes up for it, because the same thing that makes this city feel so spread out is also what gives you access to things that most cities just don't have. Pro number 2, Houston is in an outstanding location, and this is something that doesn't always hit people right away. But once you live here, you start to realize how strategic this city actually is. First off, if you want to get out of the city for a quick reset, you've got Galveston right down the road. Beach, water, restaurants, easy day trip, no flight needed. But then it opens up even more. Within just a few minutes, you can be in Austin, San Antonio, or out in the Texas Hill Country. Completely different vibe, scenery, lifestyle, all within driving distance. And then from a travel standpoint, this is where Houston really separates itself. You've got 2 major airports, George Bush Intercontinental Airport and William Hobby Airport, which means you can pretty much get anywhere in the country or internationally without having to connect through another city. And then let's talk opportunity, because Houston isn't just well located geographically, it's one of the biggest economic hubs in the entire country. Energy, healthcare, shipping, logistics, aerospace with NASA. All of that is centered right here. So what you end up getting is this: you can live in a major city with big city opportunity, but still have access to weekend getaways, different environments, beach, hill country, other major cities, easy travel in and out. And that combination is something that most cities just can't offer at this level. So while Houston might feel spread out day to day, when you zoom out, you realize you're actually positioned in one of the most connected cities in the country. Now, as great as that location is, the next one is where Houston can hit you a little different, because this isn't something that you can see on a map. This is something that you actually feel. And if you're not prepared for it, it can catch you off guard real quick. Con number 2, the allergies and the humidity. They are very real here in Houston. And if you're moving in somewhere that's drier or somewhere with actual seasons, this can hit you hard. I'm talking about stepping outside, and within minutes, your shirt feels different. The air feels heavier, and you're like, okay, this is not what I'm kind of used to. And then you've got the allergy side of it. Pollen, mold, air quality at different times of the year. There are days in Houston where you can literally feel it in your sinuses the moment that you walk outside. And here's how you know this isn't just talk. Houston actually tracks and publishes daily mold and pollen levels. That's how common this is here. Now here's the reality. Some people adjust to it just fine. They move here, give it a few months, and their body gets used to it. But then there are other people who move here and within the first week, a few weeks, they're just trying to figure out which allergy medicine works best for them. And this is something that I hear from relocation clients all the time. Nobody told me that it would feel like this. Now, is it a deal breaker? For most people, no. People still move here every single day and love it. But it is one of those things that can affect your day-to-day quality of life, especially if you're sensitive to it. So it's not something to ignore. It's just something that you need to be aware of before you make your move. Houston will make you appreciate your AC real quick. But this next one right here is exactly why so many people are willing to deal with that. Pro number 3. Houston is one of the most affordable major cities in the country, especially when you look at what you actually get for your money. And this is where I see it all the time with relocation clients. People coming in from places like California, Florida, New York, and even Washington, they get here and they're almost in disbelief because what buys you a small condo, a limited space, or something outdated in those markets can get you a fully upgraded home with space, yard, and amenities here in Houston. We're talking about 4 and 5 bedrooms, 3,000 plus square feet, game rooms, media rooms, backyards, pools, outdoor living at price points that just don't exist in a lot of those other major cities. And it's not just the purchase price, it's the overall cost of living. No state income tax here in Houston, more house for your money, and in many cases, a better overall lifestyle for what you're paying for. And here's what ends up happening. People move here thinking, okay, we're just going to get something decent. And then they realize they can actually upgrade their entire lifestyle. More space, better home, more flexibility without stretching themselves financially. And that's why you're seeing so many people relocate to Houston right now. Because when you stack it up against major metros, the value here is very hard to beat. This is one of the few cities left where you still can level up your lifestyle without leveling up your stress. Now, this next one you've probably already heard about, but what most people don't understand is how it actually impacts you day-to-day living here. And this is one you don't want to take lightly. Con number 3. Flooding, heavy rain, and hurricane season are part of life here in Houston. And this is one of those things you need to take very seriously. Now, let me be very clear. This does not mean every home floods. It doesn't mean every storm turns into a disaster, but what it does mean is this. Houston is a city that is built around managing water. Between the flat terrain, the bayou systems, and the amount of rain this area can get during certain storms. Flooding is something that has to be planned for, even if you're not anywhere near the coast. And this is where I see a lot of relocation buyers make mistakes. They assume if I'm not in the flood zone, I'm good. But in reality, you still want to understand flood zones, elevation, drainage around the property, street flooding versus structure flooding, and what your insurance actually covers, because all of that plays into your risk. And this isn't just a maybe situation. The city literally encourages residents to prepare for the storms and hurricanes as a part of living here. That's just the reality of being in the Gulf Coast market. Now, here's the flip side. The reason Houston continues to grow is because most people learn how to navigate this the right way. They buy smart, they understand the area, they get the right insurance, and they're completely fine. But if you ignore it or don't take the time to understand it up front, that's where people get caught off guard. So again, not a deal breaker for most people, but it is absolutely something that you need to respect and be educated on before you actually buy a home here in Houston. Now, real quick before we keep going, this is exactly why I make these videos, because most people don't find this stuff out until after they've already bought the wrong house. They realize how spread out Houston is. They don't think about flood zones. They don't understand commute times. And by the time they figure all this stuff out, it's already too late. So if you're even thinking about moving to Houston, buying, selling, relocating, you need to make sure you're getting the right information up front. And by the way, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything that there is to know about living in Houston, Texas, then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so that you'll be the first one to learn about living here in Houston. Again, my name is Travis and I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move here to Houston, and we just absolutely love it. So look, whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, send us a text, or shoot us an email, and we'll be happy to help you make that smooth move to Houston. And listen, if you're serious about making a move, don't try to figure all this stuff out on your own. We help people every single day narrow down the right areas, avoid costly mistakes, and make sure they're buying the right home for their lifestyle. So if that's you, call me, text me, or email me, or set up a Zoom appointment. All of my contact information is going to be on the screen or in the description below. Let's make sure you make the right move the first time. All right, let's get back into it. All right, so now that we've talked about some of the realities of living here, let's get back to the good, because this next one, this is something a lot of people get completely wrong about Houston. And honestly, it surprises almost every relocation client I work with. Pro number 4. Houston has a seriously underrated urban core, because most people, when they think about Houston, they picture suburbs, freeways, master plan communities, and yeah, that's a big part of the city. But what a lot of people don't realize is Houston actually has some very strong in-town living options. You've got areas like downtown Houston, the Heights, Montrose, the Museum District, Rice Military, and Upper Kirby. And the crazy part of that is none of these areas feel the same. Some are more walkable, some are more historic, some are nightlife driven, some are quieter and more residential. All of them give you a different version of what it feels like to live in the city. And that's something Houston doesn't always get credit for. Because compared to places like New York or Chicago, people assume Houston doesn't have that kind of urban lifestyle. But once you actually get here, you realize there's a lot more depth to this city than most people expect. And this is something that I see all the time. Clients come in thinking they're going to live in the suburbs, and then they tour some of these in-town areas and then completely change their mind, because now they're thinking walkability, proximity to restaurants, shorter commute, more lifestyle access, and it opens up a completely different way of living in Houston. So while the suburbs get a lot of attention, don't sleep on what Houston has to offer inside the loop, because that's where a lot of the character of the city really is. Now, as great as that in-town lifestyle can be, this is where Houston can humble you real quick, because no matter where you live, this next one, you're going to have to deal with it. Con number 4. Traffic and road construction are just a part of what we have to deal with here in Houston. Now, I know every major city says that, but Houston is one of those places where one wreck, one slowdown, one storm rolling through, or just one construction zone can completely throw your whole day off. And it's not just the traffic, it's how unpredictable it can be. You might have a drive in for 25 minutes one day, and that same drive the next day takes you 45 minutes, an hour with no warning. And because the city is so spread out, you feel it even more. Those extra 10-15 minutes, they add up very quickly over time. Now add in the constant road expansion, construction zones popping up everywhere, lane shifting, exits changing, and if you're new to the city, it can be like a lot to navigate at first. And this is where I see people make one of the biggest mistakes. They fall in love with the house online, but they never think about the drive to work, drive to school, drive to church, drive to everyday life. Because in Houston, you're not just buying a home, you're buying your commute. And that decision alone can either make your life easier or way more frustrating than it needs to be. In Houston, it's not the miles that get you, it's the minutes. Now, after dealing with traffic like that, you better have something worth driving for. And this right here is one of the biggest reasons people fall in love with Houston. Pro number 5, the food scene in Houston. It is elite. And I'm talking about not just talking about just good restaurants. I'm talking about one of the most diverse, authentic food cities in the entire country. Because Houston is one of the most diverse cities in the US. And you can taste that in the food. You're not getting watered down versions of anything here. You're getting the real thing. Authentic Mexican, authentic Vietnamese, authentic Nigerian, authentic Indian, authentic Chinese, all across the city, and not just in one area, in pockets everywhere. You've got areas like Chinatown, Houston, where you can pull up into a random strip center and find some of the best food that you've ever had in your life. And that's just a part of the Houston culture. Some of the best food here doesn't always look fancy from the outside, but it hits every single time. And I've got to say this because this is a big part of Houston that people don't talk about enough. The soul food scene here and the Black-owned restaurant scene here, it is strong. You've got spots like the Breakfast Club, Lucille's, Annie B's Southern Cuisine, and Cassie's Kitchen, where people are lined up out the door from locals to visitors. And because the food is that good, we're talking about chicken and waffles, oxtails, mac and cheese, greens, and catfish, sweet potatoes, smothered turkey wings, real flavor, real portions, real culture. It will get you right. And it's not just about the food. It's about the experience, the music, the energy, the people. That's something Houston brings that a lot of cities just don't have. And then on top of all that, you've got high-end dining, steakhouse, trendy brunch spots, food halls, late night spots. Houston really checks every box. And this is what I hear all the time from relocation clients. We didn't expect the food to be this good. And once you start exploring, finding your go-to spots, trying new places every weekend, that's when it really hits. Because in Houston, going out to eat isn't just something that you do, it becomes part of your lifestyle. In Houston, you're not just eating, you're experiencing culture. Now, drop your favorite Houston restaurant in the comments. I'm always looking for new spots to try. Now, as good as the value is here and as much house as you can get for your money, this is the part that catches a lot of people off guard. Because what you see online is not always what you end up paying month to month. Con number 5, property taxes in Houston. They can be much higher than people expect. And this is especially true if you're moving from a state where property taxes are lower or structured differently. Now, one of the big benefits of Texas is that there is no state income tax. But because of that, a lot of the tax burden gets shifted to property taxes. So depending on where you buy at, you could be looking at a tax rate from anywhere from about 2% all the way up to 3.7% of your home's value. And when you start talking about a $400, $800, $2 million home, that adds up pretty quick. Now, here's where people really get caught off guard, and that's new construction. Because a lot of the times, the first year tax bill looks very low. And people think, okay, this isn't that bad. But what they don't realize is that's actually based on just the land value. Then year 2 hits, the home gets fully assessed, and that tax bill can jump significantly. And I've seen that surprise people more than just once. Now, does that mean that it's a bad deal? Not necessarily. Because even with higher property taxes, a lot of people are still paying less overall than they were in places like California or New York. But it does mean you need to understand your true monthly payment, not just the purchase price, not just the interest rate, but taxes, insurance, HOA, all of it combined, because that's what you're actually living with every month. So again, not a deal breaker for most people, but definitely something that you want to factor in before you actually make the move to Houston. In Houston, the price of the home might look great, but the payment is what really matters. Now this next one right here, this is the bigger picture, and it's something a lot of people don't fully understand until they are already moved here. Pro number 6, Houston is growing and the opportunity here is real. And growth is one of the biggest reasons why so many people feel confident buying here long term. Because when you look at the numbers, Houston was one of the fastest growing cities in the country from 2023 to 2024, with a population now of around 2.4 million people. And there's a reason for that. This isn't random growth. It's driven by opportunity. You've got energy, healthcare, shipping and logistics, aerospace with NASA, all centered right here. You've got the Texas Medical Center, the largest medical complex in the world. You've got Port Houston, one of the busiest ports in the entire country. And all of that creates one thing: jobs. And when you have jobs, you have people moving in. And when you have people moving in, you have demand, okay? And that's what supports home values, new development, long-term growth. And this is what I tell people all the time. Houston isn't just a place to live. It's a place where you can actually build something, whether that's buying your first home, upgrading your lifestyle, creating long-term wealth, or positioning yourself in a market that's still expanding. And when you combine that with different price points across the market, strong job sectors, and consistent population growth, it gives people a level of confidence buying here that you don't always get in other cities. Because when you zoom out, you realize Houston isn't just growing, it's becoming one of the most important cities in the country. People aren't just moving to Houston for today, they're moving here for what this city is becoming. Now, we've talked about the humidity, but we haven't really talked about the part that most people underestimate the most: the actual heat. And this one right here, there's no way around it. Con number 6, the heat in Houston, it is no joke. And if you're moving from somewhere with mild summers or dry heat, this is going to be an adjustment for you. Because in Houston, it's just not hot, it's hot and humid. So what that means is you're not just dealing with high temperatures, you're dealing with air that feels heavy, sticky, and sometimes straight up exhausting. We're talking about 90s, mid 90s, and plenty of days pushing into the hundreds in the summer with humidity layered on top of that. And here's the part that surprises people. It's not just a couple of weeks of hot weeks, this can stretch for months. June, July, August, even into September, you're going to feel it. And it impacts your lifestyle more than most people expect. Running errands, you feel it. Get into your car, you definitely feel it. Outdoor activities, you're planning those in early morning or late evening. Now, here's the reality. You do adjust over time. Most people figure out how to manage it, staying indoors during peak heat, leaning on your AC a lot, adjusting your schedules. But if you're not prepared for it, that first summer can catch you off guard. Now, is it a deal breaker? For most people, no. People still move here every single day and love it, but it's something that you're going to need to understand because it will affect your day-to-day life, okay? Houston summers would, like I said earlier, definitely test you, but your AC will save you. Now, after everything that we've talked about today, the pros, the cons, the trade-offs, this last one right here, this is what it all comes down to. And that's pro number 7. Houston gives you the ability to build the lifestyle that you want. And what I mean by that is, there is no one way to live here in Houston. You can live in the heart of the city in a walkable area close to everything, or out in the suburbs with more space, bigger homes, quieter communities, or even somewhere in between, where you get a mix of both. And that flexibility is something a lot of cities just don't offer at this level. Because in Houston, you've got different price points, you've got different types of homes, you have different types of communities, you have different lifestyles, all within the same metro. So whether you're a single and want nightlife, raising a family and want space, relocating for work, or just looking for a better overall quality of life, Houston gives you options. And that's what makes this city so powerful. Because even with the traffic, the heat, the humidity, people still choose to be here, and they stay, because once you find your pocket, once you find your routine, once you find your people, Houston just works. Houston isn't perfect, but if you do it right, it can be exactly what you need it to be. So at the end of the day, Houston isn't perfect, okay? You've got the heat, the traffic, the humidity. You also have opportunity, affordability, lifestyle, and options that a lot of cities just can't match. And that's exactly why so many people are making the move here right now. Now listen, if you've been thinking about moving to Houston, whether that's in the next 30 days, 90 days, or even a year out, don't try to figure all this on your own, because where you live in Houston will completely shape your experience here. And that's what we do. My team and I help people every single day figure out the right area, avoid the mistakes we talked about in this video, and make sure you're making the best decision for your situation. So if that's you, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or just schedule a Zoom appointment. All of our contact information is going to be here on the screen or in the description below. We'd love to help you make that smooth move to Houston. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out this video right here. Houston's, 5 Houston neighborhoods you should avoid if you're moving from out of state. Trust me, this is one you definitely want to watch before you decide where to live. Go ahead and click that video. And until next time, we hope to show you around town.